Kerala, the most respected Shri Arif Muhammad Khan ji, respected Dr. Mohan Agashe, Shri Gobinath Mudugad, respected dignitaries on and off the dais, and dear delegates. First of all, on behalf of the Government of Kerala, I extend warm greetings to all the resource persons and the delegates who are participating in this international conference. As the Minister for Social Justice of Kerala, I hereby express my intense delight in getting an opportunity to host an international conference on comprehensive education for children with special needs. I take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Gobinath Mudugad for his commendable efforts to organize such a conference. As per the WHO estimates, the total number of people with disabilities in the world has already surpassed 1 billion. That means they are the world's largest and the most neglected minorities spread across all countries and communities. It is important to note that 80% of persons with disabilities live in developing countries, according to the UNDP report. Disabled people are not only the deprived human beings in the developing world, but also they are the most neglected, according to Amartya Sen, the world-reputed economist. As it is revealed by WHO report, currently around 400 million disabled persons live in the developing world, and majority of them are poor. Poverty is the most important cause of the disability. The disabled are denied of all opportunities for social and economic development. The basic facilities like health, education, and employment are denied to this vulnerable section of population. Around 70% of the disabled are unemployed. United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities urged its signatory countries to promote, to protect, and to ensure the full enjoyment of human rights by persons with disabilities and ensure that they enjoy full equality under the law. It promoted a right-based approach, displacing an outdated charity-based approach. The global commitment for the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development recognizes promoting the rights, perspectives, and well-being of persons with disabilities in line with the United Nations Convention on Rights of Persons with Disabilities towards a more sustainable and inclusive world. On October 1st, 2007, India ratified the decisions of UNCRPD. After 15 years since India's ratification of UNCRPD, there has been notable progress in removing discriminatory practices in society and discriminatory provisions in various central and state laws. In India, according to 2011 census, the total population of disabled persons comes to 26.8 million. That means 2.21% of the total population of India is disabled. The proportion of disabled is more in rural areas than in urban. The majority of the disabled has very poor living conditions. Out of 1 lakh Indians, 2,130 people are found to be disabled. The disabled are not a homogeneous group. There are different types of disabilities with different requirements, and the problems as well as attention required by each type are different from the other groups. The recently enacted Comprehensive Rights of Persons with Disability Act, RPWD Act 2016, has a much broader umbrella of disabilities expanded to 21 types. It is the duty of the democratically elected governments to take effective measures for the empowerment and welfare of the marginalized sections like the disabled persons. Stephen Hawking, the scientist who deciphered the enigmas of the world even while sitting on a wheelchair, identified 3 kinds of barriers on the path of the disabled. First one is barriers in physical conditions. The second one is barriers related to financial stability. The third one is barriers related to attitudes of people. As far as barriers related to physical conditions are concerned, we have to make our public spaces barrier-free. All the public offices, colleges, schools, public transport system, etc. should be disabled friendly. Ramps, rails, floors with tactile tiles, specific toilets, etc. should be ensured in each and every building and public utility spaces. The physical disabilities should be overcome with assistive devices and latest assistive technology. As far as barriers related to financial difficulties are concerned, they should be overcome with ensuring educational and employment opportunities. In the case of barriers related to attitudes, we have to join hands to create a total transformation in attitudes and approaches to the physically and mentally challenged persons. The government should take proper initiative to ensure barrier-free environment to the disabled people. Accessibility has been one of the biggest hindrances to disabled children's education. Inaccessible roads, inaccessible public transport, inaccessible educational institutions, employment avenues, and inaccessible services are hindrances in the progress of the disabled. Most of the websites and apps are inaccessible. Even the newer buses being procured are inaccessible in India. The entire rail system also lacks accessibility. Ticket counters, access to platform, entry into coaches, and various amenities are all inaccessible. Most of the schools are still inaccessible for the disabled students. Less than 40% of the school buildings have ramps, and only 17% of schools have accessible toilets. The special schools reinforce the idea of parallel segregated school systems for some instead of a common schooling for all. A completely integrated inclusive system of education is ideal for the scientific rehabilitation of the children with special needs. The RPWD Act suggested a time limit for making existing infrastructure and services accessible. We have to consistently demand for the implementation of the provisions related to accessibility. Half the persons with disabilities do not go to school or drop out at primary or secondary level. Even in the working age group, that is from 20 to 59 years, about 63% PWDs are unemployed, and significant proportion of the PWDs had no access to accessible housings or appropriate assistive devices. Meticulous planning, innovative research, and updation of assistive technologies are needed at large scale to circumvent the issues faced by the disabled sections. The basic rights and amenities are ensured by the government with pro-people welfare approach. Equal opportunities in education and employment, and the reservation stipulated by the 2016 Act should be ensured for the PWDs to transcend the limits imposed by their physical and mental challenges. It's a matter of pride for us, the Keralites, that Kerala is one of the leading states in the country when it comes to services offered to persons with disabilities. The State Planning Board shares the view that it is the responsibility and duty of the government and society to create an environment where the disabled can exercise equal rights develop their talents, and live with dignity. I would like to underline the word dignity. Under the Directorate of Social Justice, various organizations work for the empowerment and rehabilitation of the disabled. Some of them are National Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, NIPMR, National Institute of Speech and Hearing, NISH, NISH, Kerala Social Security Mission, Kerala State Handicapped Persons Welfare Corporation, and State Commissionerate of Persons with Disabilities. The government is implementing various development programs through these organizations. The government of Kerala has adopted a comprehensive right-based approach in creating an inclusive society. Our services for persons with disabilities include early identification, early intervention, inclusive education, therapeutic services, services to the terminally ill, along with programs for increasing the awareness and prevention of disability. NIPPER is an institution dedicated to the early identification, intervention, and rehabilitation of children and adults with multiple disabilities, cerebral palsy, stroke, and other disabilities. NISH is another premier institute in the area of disability for disability studies and rehabilitation sciences. It also provides an excellent environment for the pursuit of higher studies for persons with disabilities. The provisional academic programs, the Bachelor of Speech, Language, Pathology and Audiology, Master of Speech, Language, Pathology and Audiology are conducted by this institution. NISH has also developed Malayalam Sign Language Alphabet. The scheme Anuyatra, I'm not going into detail anyway, the scheme Anuyatra, a right-based life cycle approach in disability management implemented by KSSM, is crafted in line with RPWD Act 2016 to revamp the earlier state initiatives on disabilities. This include preventive initiatives, early screening, early intervention through district early intervention centers and other health and social sector institutions, educational support through special Anganwadis, bud schools, model child rehabilitation centers, special schools, inclusive education, vocational training, community-based rehabilitation, and assisted living projects, among others. Spectrum project, a component of this Anuyatra project, is aimed at early detection of autism, parental empowering program, and skill development of autism-affected children. Autism centers are established at 6 medical colleges with the service of a physiotherapist, clinical psychologist, occupational therapist, speech therapist, and other specialized doctors. Kerala State Handicapped Persons Welfare Corporation puts forward schemes which provide free distribution of aids, appliances, and modern equipments, such as high-tech limb, electric wheelchair, and other modern equipments for specific needs of people with disabilities. The Young Innovators Program, conducted by Kerala Development and Innovation Strategic Council, has a module called Innovation by Youth with Disabilities to identify and promote innovative ideas of youth with different abilities. We have many skill enhancement programs also. The Kerala Magic Academy is an institution where a specific center called Different Arts Center is established, where disabled children empower themselves through creative arts like music, dance, painting, and magic. Governmental intervention and the vigilance of the society are highly essential for the proper and complete rehabilitation of the disabled. Educational institutions should be more disabled-friendly and barrier-free. Scholarships and fellowships should be arranged for the students with special needs. Skill enhancement and employment schemes should reach to all the disabled persons who need economic self-reliance, as it is a precondition for independent life. Parents and caretakers should also be equipped and empowered through scientific training to ensure a congenial atmosphere for the proper growth of talents of children with special needs. The most important thing in the proper rehabilitation and empowerment of the persons with disabilities is to instill sufficient confidence to transcend the barriers in their path of self-actualization. Let us walk hand in hand to safeguard the rights and interests of one of the most downtrodden sections of our society, that is the disabled. As Ruth Bader Ginsburg rightly said, we will all profit from a more diverse, inclusive society, understanding and accommodating, even celebrating our differences while pulling together for the common good. Let us start to acknowledge differences. Let us carve more intimate and inclusive environment for the physically and mentally challenged around us. We shall overcome. We will definitely have a better egalitarian society tomorrow where all sorts of discriminations vanish forever. Let us march forward to create that brave new world. Thank you.